Good morning, students. And today's topic, which we are going to discuss, is modifying and consolidating our curriculum. Why the modification in the curriculum is needed, and what do you mean by the consolidation of the curriculum? Now, learning objectives of today's topic are modifying and consolidating the curriculum. Means you will be able to understand the concept of modifying and consolidating the curriculum. Curriculum modification differs from curriculum enhancement, and how the term curriculum modification is different from the term curriculum enhancement. Role of enhancement and modification, and what is the role of enhancement and modification in the curriculum development for improving accessibilities of journal curriculum. Means when we are focusing on improving the accessibilities of journal curriculum related to the enhancements and modification, and what's its particular role. Now, modifying existing journal curriculum has been an effective way to create more accessible learning environment. Now, what is that? Modifying existing journal curriculum means we are focusing on modifying, bringing changes in the existing journal curriculum. Now, the existing journal curriculum is that curriculum which we are using right now, has been an effective way to create more accessible learning environment to support all students and the teacher. Means modifying the journal curriculum is being an effective way, and that is effective way is able to create a more accessible learning environment to both for the teachers and the learners in various educational contexts, and it's giving a support to all the teachers and the learners in various educational contexts. There are many terms in use regarding changes made to curriculum. Means modification of the curriculum or the changes made to the curriculum. Various terms has been used to define that, such as enhancement. The other term which we are using is the enhancement accommodations, when we are accommodating the existing curriculum with the new curriculum, overlapping of the curriculum and adaptations which has been made so that the learner has can improve his learning. We differentiate curriculum modification from curriculum enhancement. Now, what we are saying that we can easily differentiate between the terms curriculum modification and curriculum enhancement. In this way, we can clarify the definition and nature of curriculum modification to emphasize its effectiveness. Now, in this way, means in making a differentiate between curriculum modification and curriculum enhancement, we can clarify, we can easily make a clarification, the definition that this is the definition of the curriculum and nature of curriculum, and this is the nature of the curriculum. Modifications to emphasize its effectiveness, and through that we can emphasize, give importance to its effectiveness, how it can be improved, how it can be made an effective curriculum. Improving education for all children, and in by bringing the effectiveness in the curriculum, we are improving the education process for all the children who are involved in the taking knowledge or in studying, and to provide vivid examples with various examples and useful resources which will enrich actual classroom practices for diverse learners, and it will improve the classroom practices, that prevailing existing classroom practices for diverse learners, for different learners. All the both ideas, enhancement and modification, enhancement of the curriculum and the modification of the curriculum, become pivotal, become important when we consider improving accessibility of journal curriculum. We are giving focusing on both the terms, the enhancement of the curriculum, modification of the curriculum. When we consider improving accessibility of journal curriculum, when we are saying that we have to improve the journal accessibility of the curriculum and its relation to individual student need, and that curriculum should be according to the relation of student need, what are the specific particular needs of the student. The approach which we have adopted to give the students the knowledge, design how we are preparing, and methods and the techniques that has been used by the teacher for imparting the teaching learning process. That results from each idea may differ significantly. And all these things, the approaches, the methods, the design, all are different for different subjects or the curriculum. And that result from each idea means the approach, design, method means these all terms are differ from each other significantly. Now, curriculum modification differ from curriculum enhancement. We are saying that the curriculum modification is a different thing, is a different concept, and the curriculum enhancement is a different concept. Differ from curriculum enhancement means how curriculum modification differ from curriculum enhancement. In that, modification is a more extreme alterations to the curriculum. When we are talking about the modification, means we are talking about the most extreme case, and when where there is a full alteration to the curriculum, then that of an enhancement. But when we are talking about an enhancement, it's not a extreme alteration in the curriculum. Enhancement means we are improving that curriculum, and modification means we are changing the curriculum. Modification involve combinations of altered content. Involve combinations of all the altered content that has been there. Conceptual difficulty. We are focusing on the conceptual difficulties. Educational goals. What are the different educational goals and instructional methods? And these are the instructional methods that will be used by the teacher versus building scaffolding and bridges between existing curriculum and people involved in the educational process. And bridges, it will work as a bridge between existing curriculum at the present curriculum and people involved in the educational process, and how the different people are involved in the educational process. Such differentiation between curriculum modification and curriculum enhancement is based on ranging degrees in which our educational approach become distinct from or maintain the similarities to existing general curriculum. Now, such differentiation between what curriculum modification and curriculum enhancement is based on ranging degrees, means it has a full range degree in which are educational approaches. What are the different educational approaches that we can use? Become distinct from or maintains the similarities to existing journal curriculum. Now, similarities, these are the similarities that are exist between the journal curriculum and the curriculum which has been modified or the curriculum which has been enhanced. In other words, educational practices in which student and teacher interact differ from those designed in existing journal curriculum. Now, in other words, we can say educational practices, all the practices that are going in the teaching learning process in which student and teacher, where in educational practices there has been an interaction between the student and teacher, differ from those designed in existing journal curriculum, are present to a greater extent when curriculum is modified than when enhanced. And these changes can be easily visible when the curriculum has been modified rather than we are enhancing the particular curriculum. It is important to note that no single definition of curriculum modification exists. Means there is not a single definition which is defining the concept of curriculum modification. Many researchers offer many definitions from various fields of discipline, but there are many researchers who have given the curriculum modification definition from various fields of discipline, from the different disciplines, science, English, commerce, or anything. In other words, the practice of curriculum, the way in which the curriculum will be delivered. Modification has been discussed in different languages. Now, the concept of curriculum modification has been discussed in different languages, by many researchers from various specialist areas in education. For instance, in addition to the most frequently used terms, and we are more focused on the most frequently terms that are being used for clarifying the meaning of curriculum modification and enhancement. Accommodation, adaptation, some use terms such as alteration, differentiation, change, revision, enhancement, competency, integration, scaffolding to discuss teaching events involving curriculum modification. Now, all these definitions, all these terms that has been used by the different educationists to specify the meaning of curriculum modification. Another issue is that discussion regarding curriculum modification are often interwoven with ideas of strategy used for intended education purposes. What are the ideas of strategies that has been used for intended educational purposes? This creates a situation in which we face the difficulty of separating literature focusing on teaching strategy from those focusing on curriculum modification. Now, this will create a situation in which we face a difficulty of separating literature which is focusing on teaching strategies, that these are the teaching strategies that can be used by the teacher for teaching the particular concept, from those focusing on curriculum modification, and how uh, changes has been made or it focus on the curriculum modification. There are numerous ways curriculum modification are put into practice for different purposes. Now we are saying there are many ways, numerous ways curriculum modifications are put into practice, and by using these various numerous ways, we can put curriculum modification into practice for different purposes. That these are the different purposes, and these different purposes can be used for curriculum modification and outcome on various levels, and outcome what we have achieved on various levels such as individual classroom and school-wide. Outcome can be on the basis of individual classroom, that this particular classroom has achieved that much, and school-wide when we are talking about the outcomes that has been achieved by that particular school. Due to a flexible nature and countless application, curriculum modification often remains an ambiguous concept and is understood as an umbrella term to include multifactors aspects of everyday teaching practice, and it's include multifarious aspects of everyday teaching practices, means everyday in the every day-to-day teaching practices, what practices has been used by the teacher for the delivery of the particular content. We have refined our definition of curriculum modification, means the definition which was earlier given about the concept of curriculum modification has been refined in many ways based on understanding of its nature, what its uh, nature, we want to understand that concept, and potentialities, what are the different abilities or the potentialities of that particular curriculum modification. The discussion below introduces a way to understand the concept and some concrete practices of curriculum modification means a way to understand the concept that discussion helps us to understand that this is the way to understand a basic concept related to curriculum modification and some concrete practices of curriculum modification and some practices which can be used for modifying the curriculum through to presenting how we have defined curriculum modification through the way we have defined the concept the curriculum modification how components can be categorized how different components can be categorized what research says about its effectiveness and what the researchers are saying about the effectiveness of the curriculum modification and how such empirical evidence can be applied to journal education settings and how the evidences or the results that we are uh, get from the researchers we can apply to journal education settings so that enhancement modification of the curriculum can be made. As noted above, the components of curriculum modification as are well categorized by King Swiss. Now, the concept of curriculum modification are well categorized by King Swiss in 2001 in to four types means the curriculum modification can be uh, divided and it can has four types and these are recommendations how we are accommodate the information adaptation for how we are adapting the new information that we want to give through the curriculum parallel curriculum outcomes what are the different parallel curriculum outcomes from the existing curriculum or the curriculum modification and overlapping curricula and how the overlapping curriculum will work. Sweeting 1997 explained that the purpose of modifying curriculum that what is the aim or the purpose of making changes in the curriculum is to enable an individual to compensate for intellectual, physical, or behavioral challenges means how an individual is able to compensate with all the intellectual, mental, physical, or behavioral challenges that he or facing and to create learning environment and by that we are able to create a learning environment which allow the individual to use existing skills and that will help the individual to use the existing skills that are already present in it reporters while promoting the acquisition of new skills and knowledge and while we are promoting the acquisition of new skills the how the new skills has been used and how the new knowledge has been used. We need to understand that these are the purpose which underline the four type of curriculum modification identified by King Swaz. In the following section, brief explanation of each type of curriculum modification with example from actual classrooms are presented. Now we will discuss about the curriculum modification, how the curriculum modification will be done, and we will try to explain this with the help of different examples. And for the examples are taken from the actual classroom situations. Actual educational practices reflecting modified curriculum. Actual educational practices that these are the educational practices and these are reflecting the modified curriculum. Vary in many ways and these can be done in many ways in the curriculum. As modification occur in various educational settings, as modification will occur in various educational settings across diverse subject areas, across different subject areas, students among different students, assignments, the assignments which were given by the teacher to the students, assessment, what is the process of assessing the knowledge or the skills, evaluation, what will be the evaluation process, whether it will be a formative evaluation or the summative evaluation, and so on. Presenting examples for all educational situations is beyond the scope of this paper. Means we are not focusing that. if we try to give all the examples related to the field of curriculum modification, it's not possible here. Therefore, we select a range of examples across four types of curriculum modification, and that's why we have selected a range of examples across four types of curriculum modification with a special focus on the examples from integrated journal classroom, and these examples has a main focus on the special on the gives importance on the examples from integrating journal classroom means how these modifications has been uh, implemented in the curriculum and what was the role of the journal classroom when we are integrated or explaining with the examples that are happened in the journal classrooms. For example, this section regarding accommodation involves an example of using assistive technology, how you can use the technology in writing class, in making or writing the class for the students who are learning with learning disabilities. If the student has been facing the learning disability, it can be in the area of arithmetic, reading, or writing, and an example of using audio for exam English, or an example of where the student is using audio books to learn English language learners in a reading lesson. Likewise, various settings: next language, arts, social science, studies, and sciences. Now, these are the various fields where that settings can be applied. And learners, students with moderate to severe disabilities means the students who are suffering from that moderate to severe disabilities, as well as students identified as gifted and talent, and as well as for the student who has been found out that these are the gifted and the talented students of the class appear in the example presented across the four type of curriculum modification, and all these examples are presented in such a way that it crosses the four types of curriculum modification. Now, today, the topic which we have discussed is related to how the curriculum modification has to be done, how the curriculum modification is differ from the curriculum enhancement, and what are the various ways through which the curriculum modification can be done, and the ways in which the curriculum enhancement has to be done in the curriculum, and why these curriculum enhancement and curriculum improvement or the modifications are very necessary when we are talking about these terms, and how the different terms like accommodation, adaptation, all these are uses with the curriculum modification. Now, for further reading on this particular topic, you can refer these references. Now let us discuss some MCQs, as MCQs are the best tools to know or judge the learning outcomes of the learner. Now the first one is curricular innovations let the sense of ownership form. Now the curriculum innovations, anything which has been newly added, which is related to new things to a particular field. Now, curricular innovations means the innovations that will occur in the field of the curriculum. Lacks the sense of ownership form, and it's the innovation is lacking the sense of ownership form. Now, the options are A. Stakeholders, B. Makers, C. Students, or it's D. The teacher. Now the students, you have to select the correct answer from the given choices, and the correct answer is yes. The correct answer is option A, that is stakeholders. So curriculum innovations lack the sense of ownership from stakeholders, and that stakeholders include teachers, students, curriculum makers, different schools, colleges, administration, management people, means all those who are related with the teaching process. Now, the second one is Lack of regular monitoring and evaluation is one of the problems in curriculum. Now, lack of regular monitoring means we once we have implemented the curriculum, we are not regularly monitoring the curriculum, whether that curriculum has been implemented in the same way in which it has been designed or prepared. And evaluation is one of the problem in curriculum. And uh, first thing, regular monitoring of it was not done, and evaluation and how to evaluate the evaluation of the curriculum. And these two things, monitoring and evaluation, is one of the problem in curriculum. Now the options are: A, in the development of the curriculum; B, in the modification of the curriculum; C, in the improvement of the curriculum; and it's D, enhancement of the curriculum. So we are saying that lack of regular monitoring and evaluation is one of the problem in curriculum development. Means curriculum development is not developing, the curriculum is not developing because the regular monitoring and evaluation of the curriculum is not done on particular time. Now the third one, dash, result to teachers burnout. Results to teachers burnout. What is the reason why the teacher are burned out with their particular teaching or the profession? Now the A is innovations, B, modifications, C, improvement, or it's D, enhancement. So the correct answer is option A, that is innovations results to teacher burnout. Innovations, new things that has been added to the curriculum when these modifications has been done in a regular basis. This is the need to change the curriculum on the regular basis, but that innovation sometimes results to teacher burnout. Now the fourth one, dash in are not communicated to all. Now what things are not communicated to all? And that is very necessary to communicate to all the stakeholders, to the teachers, to the uh, those involved with the teaching learning process. Everything, everyone should know about that. Now the options are: A, innovations; B, development; C, enhancement; or it's D, the modification. So we are saying that innovations that has been done in any specific area or any subject area must be communicated to all the stakeholders of the education. Now, dash, existing journal curriculum has been an effective way. Existing journal curriculum, the curriculum that has been presently used for the giving the knowledge to the student. Existing journal curriculum has been an effective way. Means the existing journal curriculum is a effective way to create more accessible learning environment to support all students. Means have been an effective way to create. Now it's creating an environment that is more accessible to support all students that are present in the class. Now, the options are: A, enhancement; B is modification; C, enhancement and modification both; or it's D, the development. So the correct answer is option B, that is modification, means modifying existing journal curriculum. It's an effective way to create more accessible learning environment so that all students can be easily learn, and it will work as a support to all students. Now, curriculum modifications differ from curriculum. How the term curriculum modification differs from curriculum dash. Now, the options are: A, enhancement, means curriculum modification differs from curriculum enhancement. Option B, curriculum modifications differ from curriculum modification. Option C, curriculum modification differs from curriculum enhancement and modification in the curriculum, or the curriculum modification differs from curriculum development. So these are the options, and you have to select the correct one. And the correct option is, or the is option A, that is enhancement, that curriculum modification differs from curriculum enhancement, means both the term curriculum modification and curriculum enhancement are two different things. Dash practices in which student and teacher interactions, means practices that has been used by the teacher during the teaching learning process, in which student and teacher interaction, means the way the teacher and students are interacting, differ from those designed in existing journal curriculum. Differ means it's totally different from those designs that are being actually used in the existing journal curriculum. Means the process of interaction differ in in a new curriculum or in a curriculum that is existingly present. Design in existing journal curriculum are present to a greatest extent when curriculum is modified than when enhanced. Now, the options are A. Enhancement, B. Modification, C. Enhancement and modification practices, or it's D. Educational practices. Now, what should be the correct answer? Yes, students, what will be the correct answer? And the correct answer is yes, and the correct answer is option D, that is educational practices. Now, educational practices in which student and teacher interaction differ from those designs that are existing and present to a greater extent when curriculum is modified and then when enhanced. Dash involves combination of altered, means which terms involved combinations of altered means changes, content instruction methods means the instruction method that has been used before or now the different instruction methods are being used versus buildings scaffolding between existing curriculum and people involved in the educational process, means what do you call a term which involves both a combination of altered content, instruction methods versus building scaffolding between existing curriculum and the new curriculum and people involved in the educational process? Now the options are A. Enhancement, B. Modification, C. Enhancement and modification, or it's D. Development. So the correct answer is option B. That is modification involves combination of altered content instruction method, means the way in which instructional method has been used by the teacher for the delivery of the content. Now, dash become pivotal, means important when we consider improving accessibility of a journal curriculum. When we are working, when we are considering improving accessibility of journal curriculum, means the curriculum that has been presented in relation to individual students, and that improving accessibility is made in relation to individual student needs, means what are the different individual needs of the student, the approach, which approach has been used by them, design, the way the curriculum journal curriculum has been designed or made, and method that result from each idea may differ significantly, and the methods that results from each idea that is resulting from each different ideas, and these things differ significantly from each other. Now the first one is enhancement, B. Modification, C. Enhancement and modification both, and it's D. Improvement. So the students, what will be the correct answer? Whether A, B, C, or D? The correct answer will be option C. That is enhancements and modification. These two both are equally become pivotal when we consider improving accessibility of journal curriculum in relation to student needs, approach, design, and methods. Now the last one. The dash of curriculum modification emphasize its effectiveness in improving education. Now, what is giving emphasis on curriculum modification so that the effectiveness of that curriculum increases, and in overall it will increase or improve the education practices. Now the options are A, nature, B, fixed, C, artificial, or it's D, regular. Now these are the options, and the students, you have to select the correct answer on the basis of the given choices, and the answer is yes. Now what will be the answer? And the answer is option A, that is nature. Means the nature of curriculum modification and definition of curriculum modification. Means the nature and the definition of curriculum modification emphasizes giving importance its effectiveness in improving the education system. Means they are working in improving the education system and to improve in a effective manner. So the correct answer is nature. Now, thank you, students. Uh, with this particular narration about the concept of enhancement in the curriculum, modification in the curriculum, we can say that modifying a curriculum has been an effective way. Means it's a effective way to create more accessible learning environment. Means when we are making changes in the curriculum, when we are enhancing the curriculum, developing the curriculum, it will definitely increase or create such environment so that learning should be accessible by every learner. Means no one will be left with the learning or the teaching. To support all learners means it will focus on the individual, not only on the individual needs of the learner, but also on the what others want in the from the teaching learning process. All teachers and learners to various educational institutions, organizations means the curriculum modification is that which makes accessible to all learners and the teachers and all the support teachers and learners so that the accessible of to education can be easily made. First thing. And the second thing is that how the curriculum modification and curriculum enhancements are differ from each other. Now we are saying that curriculum enhancement and curriculum modification are both necessary as we need to change our curriculum according to the situation, and how the different terms, that is adaptation, that is accommodation, that is stimulating, all these terms are we are using in the field of curriculum modification and curriculum enhancement. But then also there has been a significant difference between the term curriculum enhancement and curriculum development. And what the main focus is that is to bring improvement in the learning process. Means whether we are talking about the curriculum enhancement or the curriculum modification, the both the terms has been focusing on what they are focusing on, how to improve the educational practices or the teaching learning process during the uh, uh, imparting of the lesson plans or by the teacher using the teaching plans. So thank you, students. With this, so we in the next class we will discuss about the different aspects of the curriculum modification, how the changes can be made, and how the enhancement and the improvement of the curriculum will affect the teaching learning process. Whether the teachers and the different stakeholders are easily adapt the curriculum enhancements or the curriculum development, or they are just burn out with all the innovations that has been done in that particular area. So thank you, students. Thank you for your patience listening.